first we have to teach them how to be a good person and how to follow instructions. And really, isn't that more valuable than cartwheels? What happens when a preschooler is not following instructions? Do they get sent out of class? Is my preschooler even ready for class? These are two questions that I got today at our preschool playgroup, and I thought I would answer. My son is 4.5, and we sat him out of preschool class a lot. My girl took only about 2 or 3 months to adjust. Boys and girls are different, and different boys and different girls are different from each other. But here's the general rule, and this is what happens at Apex if we have a preschooler who's not following instructions. We don't want them disrupting class for anybody else. That's embarrassing to the parent. They sit there and they watch my kids disrupting the class for everybody else. The instructor's not having to correct anybody else but my child. We don't want that to happen. Plus, it's not good for the student. They're trying to learn how to be well behaved, how to follow instructions, so they can learn some gymnastics, right? That's what you're paying for. Here's what happens at Apex. Little Timmy is not following instructions right away at the beginning of class. Warm-ups even. It's pretty quick. We know this kiddo is not used to following instructions, so little Timmy gets brought over to mom and we say, Mom, Timmy's having trouble following instructions and staying with the group, so he's gonna sit here for 5 minutes and then we'll be back to check on him. And then we walk away. And I want little Timmy to sit there and go, they're gonna go jump on the trampolines without me. So we're gonna use some positive peer pressure and the fear of missing out on something that's really fun to help encourage our student to follow instructions so that, number one, they can mature as a person, which is the main goal, and number two, that they get some gymnastics instruction. We'll be back to check on them in 5 minutes, and we say, little Timmy, are you ready to follow instructions with Coach Tyler or whoever? And if little Timmy says, then our attitude adjustment has not been completed. And so we'll say, okay, I'll give you 5 more minutes. Come back the third time, or however many times it takes. Little Timmy, are you ready to come bounce on the trampolines with us and follow instructions? Yes, Coach. Okay. Little Timmy's back into the class. Everybody's on good terms. And then if it happens again, we just reinforce the situation that you have to follow instructions to be a part of class. It's not personal. Nobody dislikes you, but you do have to follow instructions. And sometimes it only takes one time. Sometimes the first class is great and the second class not so much, and we have a sit out. But it is normal for 3- and 4-year-olds, especially those, to have this happen a couple times. So if this has happened to your kid, your kiddo's not weird. This has happened to my kid. I'm the owner, both of my kids, right? 4.5-year-old and a 3-year-old. This is just part of their development as people. And my goal is to teach great gymnastics, but first we have to teach them how to be a good person and how to follow instructions. And really, isn't that more valuable than cartwheels? So that's what happens if your kiddo is not following instructions. They get in trouble, not timeout, and they're not isolated, but they cannot participate with the class until they're ready to follow instructions. So hope that helps. I'm setting up for preschool. See you soon.